Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from Chart Guys, checking in on the electric vehicle and wind sectors. Well, just one name, NEE. All right, so Tesla, as we know, got that S&P news, testing key weekly all-time high resistance of 502.49, broke it but closed back down below it. But considering this move up, there's plenty of space for a daily higher low. So, bulls can't be too upset right now. And I think, let's see. Oh, no. All right, so let's see. Not even close. Okay. So the only 5-minute oversold play happened in after hours, so it would have been tricky anyway. All right, so what are we looking at here? Whoops. I can just kill it. All right, what are we looking at here? Let's check out the hourly trend going into the end of the day. So essentially just had that one push up and then consolidation for the rest of the day. Just in this EQ. I suppose it could be a bull flag, but I don't love it as a bull flag just because of this little pause here. I wonder what it looks like. I don't know. I don't love that. I don't like that it has a slant, right? Typically you have just a nice, big powerful move up to make the pull. I don't like this, curve. But it is still healthy hourly consolidation. If the bulls can show up tomorrow and defend this low of 493, break to a higher high over 508.61, then they'll see some more daily bounce follow through over all-time high resistance, and then who knows, maybe off to the races. Who knows? But if the bears show up tomorrow, defend this high of 504.29 and break to a new low under 493, then we will have bulls scouting for a daily higher low. So in the short term, you also have the potential of a head and shoulders setting up here, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if potentially we came down, and let's see if the 5-minute would be oversold there. It certainly would be. I mean, obviously, it's unlikely to dump straight down, but if you can get 5-minute oversold conditions down here, as you approach these levels of support here, I don't hate that, but it would just be a play for likely to just set a lower high, right? And for head and shoulders, you typically want to see relative parallelism, parallelity, whichever term you prefer, to the shoulders. I mean, the shoulders should be relatively parallel to each other, and so if that's the case, then the RR is still decent, even if you're scaling in over a rather large range like this. And it doesn't have to be so big. Something like that. Okay, however much wiggle room you want to give it, it's up to you. All right, so potential hourly head and shoulders. We'll be watching out for that potential hourly trend change to the bears with a break of this low here. This one. Okay, and then for that daily higher low, because the weekend is coming. Oh, we'll miss a video, but whoops. So that's kind of cool. It's potentially another head and shoulders here, right? If the bears can push down here and the hourly would be extended, obviously it wouldn't go straight down. But if you can get hourly extension here, I wouldn't be surprised by a bounce here and then potentially a head and shoulders like this. But that's still, pretty far down the line. And then for that daily higher low play, again, we want to be doing our shopping in hourly oversold conditions. It would be right there. Take a look on the daily, make sure it's a reasonable assessment. This gap has me a little hesitant. Not to say, I'm not a big proponent of gap theory, but there are plenty of traders who do, and it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts, right? Here's a gap, for example, that like, is anybody paying attention to this one, saying that it has to close? I kind of doubt it, but who knows? Yeah, but it is something to take note of, this gap there. So we'll see how it develops, but it's one step at a time. The bears haven't even taken the hourly trend change yet. So hourly higher low potential here, daily higher low potential there. NIO. Oops. Okay, so NEO also didn't quite get into our zone of interest, just a bit too conservative. Really, there was not much of a shot if you are an hourly player anyway to get in today on NEO. It was pretty much just straight up the whole day. But if you are, wait, hold on 1 second here. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so NEO, we're in this potential daily EQ. All right, we're just in this sideways tightening range. It's a very large range, so would not be surprised to spend a good amount of time in here after all of this volatility, right? I need some balancing. So bulls headed up today to test this key resistance here of 49.37. There has been no hourly consolidation as of yet. Well, I guess in extended hours, there's been some consolidation. Tomorrow, bulls will be scouting a healthy hourly higher low over 43.75. So, ton of congestion. So there's all these tops here that just happen to be lining up with the pivot and the golden of this leg. Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't line up perfectly with the golden. Yeah. Either way, let's see where the 5-minute would get extended, and it already did and bounced. At the bottom of this candle, it was extended. It prints on the close. Either way, I don't really love a play like that because I know we're in this daily EQ. For me, you know, maybe it's because I'm not terribly aggressive. I'm a bit more conservative as a trader. I would rather take a slow and steady approach because it's kind of like baseball, right? Like the regular hitters, they're not the ones who are most influential. You know, it's guys like Babe Ruth, right? Babe Ruth and his home runs were really influential for the team, right? For the team's success. And I don't, you know, I'm sure many people know, but it's not terribly talked about. But Babe Ruth struck out all the time. I think in one season he was the lead strikeout player. So, yeah, the idea is you want to be patient, you want to tread water and wait for those home runs. All right, it's totally fine to strike out if those strikes are small or to, you know, completely miss. It doesn't matter. Missing a trade or getting stopped out, consider that a strike, right? You want to get struck out all the time and then just wait for those home run moments, like that NEO trade from, I forget, from like over here, right? You just be patient. Anyway, so I would just play the ranges. That's all I care about. I know we're in this daily tightening EQ, so I would just be looking to play this lower range here. So it would just be the hourly play. I just want to see hourly extension. And it would be right around there. All right, so something like that. Also, day traders, if you are looking at these hourly setups and you're thinking, oh man, I don't want to play that range or whatever, you can just wait, you know, wait for a price to come into the zone of interest, right? If the hourly is extended at that point, and then zoom into the 5-minute or whatever, and then you can be making your plays with this directional bias, knowing that the macro is extended, right? So if the hourly gets oversold into the zone of interest, knowing that there's a base of support here, and you're on the 5-minute time frame, you can be looking for those 5-minute higher low plays. So waiting for a bounce like this, a 5-minute bounce, so this is the hourly, waiting for a 5-minute bounce large enough to anticipate a higher low, and then you don't have to expose yourself to so much risk. Right, so if you wait, and then on the 5-minute time frame, you wait for something like that, obviously the risk on this trade is significantly lower. Right, it would look like that. Stop below the low, look for that maybe, and so your RR will be better and the risk would be lower. Okay. Yep, that's pretty much it. NKLA. So NKLA is in this area of resistance. This chop zone here, we're heading up to test key. What actually we have yet to get over. Let's see. Nope, we got over, but no follow through yet over this key resistance here of 27.30. So ideally what bulls will do tomorrow is show up to defend this low of 24.87, break this high here. Well, actually, this high is really more important, of 27.73 to see some more bounce follow through and have bears scouting the potential weekly lower high under 54.56. And so the next resistance after this level here would be right there. There's a little bit of a gap fill. 2960 is the next key resistance. If the bears step up tomorrow, defend this high here of 27.25 and then break to a lower low of under 24.87, we will be scouting for that daily higher low. Anything over 17.59 will be one. Hourly would get extended over here, and we know that we've been basing for a long time. So let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't hate that. Bunch of price action here. Got a bottom got put in here. Shelf of support there. Acted as a little magnet zone here. Rejection, breakthrough, backtest. This is definitely a meaningful level in my opinion. Price seems to find it significant. So something like that. Okay, hourly extension. Looking for that daily higher low. It's probably not going to be this low, honestly, because the RSI it will likely bounce, see some lower highs and lower lows. So I doubt it. That this setup plays out soon. But that's really the only thing I'm looking for right now. Okay, so we're just watching for this potential hourly trend change to set the daily lower high if the bears can step in. And if the bulls step in, we're just looking up at that next resistance of 2960. WKHS. Okay, again, not into the zone. Lame. So initial rejection from this daily resistance here of 23.85. Is that just by 4 pennies? Wow. All right. Okay, so if the bulls can show up tomorrow, defend this, I don't really love this as a, yeah, I wouldn't consider this a trend change. I would just consider this one leg down. I mean, I guess you could say it like this. Yeah, I suppose that's good. All right, so, but however, the daily supports have yet to break. So really, we're waiting for this 21.21 support level to break to have bull scouting for a daily higher low over 18.55. And I would be looking for it somewhere around there. Okay, if the bulls can show up tomorrow and defend this low of 22.58, break over a higher high to over 23.81, then they will have bears scouting the next resistance. I mean, there's a bunch of chop here, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by like some resistance here at 25.41 maybe. But really, this key weekly resistance is what everybody's looking at. Just scouting that weekly lower high, and the weekly lower high is very, very much likely. That's a ton of range. Yeah, weekly lower high is very, very likely. So, and honestly, this leg up, while it was a big percent move, you know, same thing with I forget which other ticker that was, but the idea is it doesn't look super impulsive. This looks impulsive, you know. This is all one color for the most part, all one color for the most part, but this kind of has a bit of a Christmas colory look to it. And let's see if that's enough bounce that's enough bounce to anticipate a weekly higher low as well. So volatility is here for WKHS for sure. But that's the only short-term trade that I like. And then of course there will be lower high plays. If the bears can see follow through tomorrow under 22.58, then the hourly lower high plays will be on deck. And it kind of looks like the potential for a head and shoulders. Right? You have this one here. And then if we come up, make a lower high, then potentially a head and shoulders reversal, and then have us scouting for that daily higher low. Okay, so knee starting to fade a little bit. This is not a good look. Definitely, you have all this consolidation here, and then a breakout, and then a return back into the range. Definitely not a good look. But we are back testing this channel support here and holding it so far, so not terrible, I suppose. I don't need to hide that. I'll just kill it. Just flirting with getting into our zone of interest here. Let's just make sure that we still want those fills there. We do not, because the hourly would not be extended. So we just want to move it a bit lower, like so tomorrow. And I kind of like this because then it would include this channel median line. So essentially, we're looking to bottom fish this range again. There are a few plays back there that we played. And so now we're just looking for the same exact thing. Looking for hourly oversold conditions, testing this range, knowing that there's all the support back there. Would not be surprised with at least an initial hold, right? After all the consolidation under the resistance and then this back test of it to make the strong move up, to cut right through it, in my opinion, would be a little unlikely. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised to see if this held, right? If we just continue to go sideways from here. We'll see. Anyway, daily downtrend is very much in effect. Bulls are scouting for a weekly higher low over 72.50, but given this context, it doesn't look terribly good, but anything can happen. Hourly trend is very bearish, and at the end of the day, ended in a bear flag of sorts. Not sure what this volume is. Let's zoom in a bit to take a look. That's probably just something settling. So potential hourly bear flag, that's fine if we're looking for this long play. We want to see that bear flag break down into the zone of interest, get hourly extended, and so we can initiate off of these supports. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Apologies. Okay, I believe that covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.